Hillary Fordwich is with us now, a global business development leader, and Thomas Savage, an economist with the American Institute of Economic Research. Thank you both for coming on. Hillary, Amazon, typically one of the first places many Americans turn to for their holiday shopping. It's easy to do. You're going to get some Black Friday deals. You're going to get some Cyber Monday deals. But now you have this strike. How does that impact the consumer?
Well, you're totally right. Thank you for having me back again. Well, this actually is the fifth year. So if we look overall, were your holiday gifts terribly delayed? No, Amazon is very smart and savvy, and they're prepared for this. What I would say, though, is I would say all of those strikers and all of those union workers should think about two words and a geographic place: Shreveport, Louisiana. Why? They have built now a development center there, a delivery center that is 55 American football fields long, 5 stories high, all automated with AI. Why is this important? Because the more they strike, the more likely in these other global locations that Amazon will automate instead. This strike is taking place in 6 continents, 20 countries. Yes, they're going to protest the global headquarters in the London, UK headquarters, many locations all across Germany, including marching in the streets in France. So yes, it's going to impact deliveries, but not so drastically. It's happened over the last 5 years.
So from the organization that's striking, they put out a statement, and I'll read some of it in part. It says, quote, "From India to the United States, the UK to Canada, workers are rising against exploitation and corporate intimidation. Make Amazon Payday is a powerful testament to our unity and momentum. No company, no matter how wealthy, can silence the cause of workers demanding justice." Thomas, you heard Hillary point out this has happened for several years now, this movement, but Amazon finds a way to make it around on holiday season.
That's right, because as Hillary mentioned, it is their busiest time of year, so they're going to try to find ways around it. And one thing with such a massive global strike is that you have to coordinate with that, and the larger number of people they want to participate, the much more difficult it is to regulate behavior. So if there are opportunities for people to work, they may second guess the strike unless there's, and it doesn't seem to be a specific ask, this sort of general pushback against what Amazon is doing. Without that specific ask, maybe some people will want to go back to work a little earlier, because the longer an economic boycott like a strike goes on, the more difficult it is to maintain cooperation in that boycott. And ultimately, though, if the strike does come to fruition and Amazon does face logistical troubles, governments should not get involved, and the best recourse is for it to be peacefully resolved between the employers and the employees.
Right. An Amazon spokesperson responded to that saying, quote, "At Amazon, we provide great pay, great benefits, great opportunities, all from day one. We've created more than 1.5 million jobs around the world and counting. And we provide a modern, safe, and engaging workplace, whether you work in an office or at one of our operations buildings." Unquote. So you see both sides of this. And Hillary, just from a broader perspective on this story, I mean, what messaging are you really sending from these strike workers if Amazon just finds a way to work around you and still everyone gets the deliveries as scheduled?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's going to be automation. The other thing, though, that I think is extremely important, think of all the little businesses that are trying to compete with Amazon and those that have failed and are out of business now. You drive across this great United States, little town after little town, and you find shuttered little shops. Why? Because they can't compete. They don't get those big tax breaks. So every time one of these union workers or one of these workers goes on strike, I wish that they would think about all the other businesses that can't compete. I can at least speak directly for the UK. They actually have raised their minimum wage 35% over the last 2 years. Do you think a little shop in a little high street in England can do that? No, they can't do it in Main Street America. They can't do it on the high street in England. These workers are putting out of work other workers. That's not very nice.
That's a good point. Again, you pointed to automation. If indeed it gets to that point, which is looking like that's where it goes, perhaps you're fighting against yourselves. They may no longer need that position anymore. What good did it do? Either way, that's where we are today. Hillary Fordwich, Thomas Savage, thank you very, very much. We do appreciate that. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Thomas.
Anytime.